Oh, yes. Finally, Dillashaw versus Sandhagen. We're days away, right? But I got to tell you, when this fight got announced, like there's some fights I've gotten so pumped for. I've texted Sean thank yous before, right? Only 3 or 4 times, but I hit where a fight pops off the page. I'm like, oh man, thank you. This is a thank you. This is one of them. First off, great news to see Dillashaw back. But this fight's got a few things on it you guys don't know about, okay? I did a vacation. And I'm not vacation guy. I travel a lot with work or things like this, and that kind of feels like a trip. You're in a hotel and you're using somebody else's towels. It feels like a vacation. I don't do a lot of vacations. So, in fact, this might be the first one that I've been on in my adult life. Took my wife, kids, go out to San Diego. And I'm done. I'm not going to work. There's no anything. ESPN gave me the time off. I'm going to put my phone down. I had a view of the ocean. I mean, everything's great, right? I'm on vacation. You guys understand. Well, I get a phone call. Get a phone call from Daryl Christian. Daryl Christian is the coach of, amongst others, TJ Dillashaw. Turns out where I'm staying is 20 minutes from the gym TJ trains at. TJ's going to get a workout in, and I got invited. Now, this gym is a little bit of a who's who, right? Who likes to name drop more than me? But you got Juan Archuleta in there. Brian Ortega's in there. Rampage is in there. Tough gym. And I get invited to this private workout. I got to go. Tell my wife understands. She's like, you got to go. You got to see that. So I go see it. And I even brought a camera with me. My partner Ryan came in there and we filmed this workout. You can find it on my YouTube page if you're interested. But I've been a TJ fan and a believer for a meaningful period of time, right? I know he's one of the best to have ever done it. Many say he is the best bantamweight to have ever done it. He skirted the rules, which, gains favor with me, right? He's got something that I look for, quality that I look for in a person. He's a little bit shady. He's tough. I went and saw this workout. I learned things about TJ I didn't know. TJ's mean. I did not know that. He's a handsome guy. Every time you see him, he stops smoking. He's got a nice smile and a handshake for you. I didn't know he was mean. I didn't know how competitive he was. I knew he was competitive in the octagon, so did you guys. I don't give a damn if they're climbing ropes. I don't care if they're running sprints down and back. I don't care if it's water break, who can get it and be back on the mat first. He is competing for everything at all times. He's talking, he's chirpy. TJ's mean. I might call him a dick, but I was a guest in the room. I don't feel it would be appropriate for me to see a workout and then come out and call him something bad. I really enjoyed this, but I also saw stuff from TJ Dillashaw. His transitions, his strikings into his takedowns. Okay, this is one piece. I told you there's a few pieces to the story, but there's another piece, okay? Can't tell you my source, but this is true. Guaranteed it's true. Sandhagen and Dillashaw were training partners. They were in Colorado. They were in the room together. Coach Whitman was running the workout, but they were in the room together. And they sparred. Now, I know how that went. Can't say. I will tell you this. It was so one-sided that the coach separated them. I believe it was Coach Whitman's room. If I'm wrong, it was Coach Ludwig. It was so one-sided that Coach Ludwig separated them. You don't go with him again. You don't go with him again. So these guys have a past and they have a history. And I will tell you, and again, I got to leave the name out of it. I got to. There's rules. I was contacted by one side. I was trying to get this fight going. I loved it, right? I was late to the Sandhagen bandwagon. Hell, Wani was telling me all the time, stop it, Ariel. Stop it all. Pretty soon, he's 10-0, then he's 11-0, then he's 12-0. I was late. I was talking about this fight. I was trying to get this fight together. This is before it was signed. I get contacted from one of these two sides that says, Chael, please stop. That's the one fight we don't want. So, what do I make of that? And what do you make of that? These guys know. 2 guys don't have to fight. You could put 50 guys in a room for an hour, have them work out. I'll watch the workout, and when it's done, I'll tell you who the baddest dude in the room is. And I'll tell you who the second baddest and the third baddest is. And by the way, so will they. 100%. They don't have to go with each other, touch each other. They could be doing their own thing. They will see and hear everything. Everybody will know what the pecking order is. So these guys, if you follow that theory, which is true, no. And one of them's team contacted me, go any direction you want except this one. It's an interesting match. And I will tell you, when I first heard about this, I thought this is pretty obvious what's going to happen. And it will be no skin off Sandhagen. He's taking on a future Hall of Famer. He's taking on a former world champion. He's taking on a guy that was this close to champ. I mean, at least had the opportunity, right? TJ has returned to a division to reclaim a championship that he never lost, which I feel should be his narrative. I feel TJ should say that in every interview that he does this week. I am back to reclaim the championship that I never lost. He needs to remind people he did not get beat at 135 pounds. He lost that paperwork, right? USADA in the test. But when he lost to Henry, don't forget, that was at 125. I only remind you because it's a great line. It's a great line. And as good as Sandhagen is on his feet, Dillashaw is awesome on his feet and has the added element of the wrestling, which the only time we've ever seen Sandhagen look a fool was against current champion Aljamain Sterling, when Sterling took him down, took his back, choked him out, and went home in 40 seconds. I don't say that to tease Sandhagen. Sandhagen later did an interview and talked about his wrestling and said, in my quote, as you all know, my wrestling sucks. Now, Sandhagen doesn't usually get tested in that regard. He is so long and he's so good at understanding range. Range is one of these terms that announcers love to throw out there. Well, if he can get inside, if he can stay on the outside, if he can keep at the end of the punches. They're words that you use. It's very rare that you meet a fighter who actually understands how to use range. Tommy Hearns comes to mind. Hangman comes to mind, right? Dan. John Jones comes to mind. But I got to throw Sandhagen in there too. Sandhagen doesn't have to wrestle a lot. If he thinks he sucks at wrestling, I'll use his own words. He sucks at wrestling. He doesn't have to wrestle a lot because he understands range and he understands how to keep it. He understands how effective a knee up the middle and an elbow down the pike can be at keeping a wrestler at bay. So if that's true, if he's so damn good at range, and if TJ can't get inside and TJ can't implement wrestling, I guess we got a kickboxing fight between two very skilled and talented kickboxers. But what if it's not true? What if TJ does find a way to get in? And TJ's got 5 rounds to do it. I mean, it's a very compelling matchup. In many ways, why I don't know who's going to win, and I don't feel like cursing one of them right now, right? Putting the Chael curse on them. I will tell you this. There's no part of me that sees this as a close fight. If TJ gets him down, TJ is likely to maul him. But if he doesn't, and Sandhagen keeps him at range and starts getting those knees in, starts hurting TJ, right? Sandhagen doesn't just pick you apart. He hurts you. He's a skinny guy with tremendous power. Anderson Silva was the same way. He wasn't Mr. Muscle. He's not the guy in the gym that's going to be putting up plates. But boy, he understood timing. He understood precision. He understood how to turn things over. He understood hips and digging in and turning your toe. Just sharing with you. This fight comes, and I've been looking forward to it. And we already missed it once, right? Don't forget that. This fight was booked like 2 months ago. TJ got a cut and trained him. And we've waited for this fight. We've been waiting for the return of Dillashaw. If there's any time to kick TJ's ass, I have to think it's now. Guy's been out for a minute. I got to think now's the time to get him. Interesting fight. I'm glad it's here. Outcome to be determined. But I will predict for you, we do not have a back and forth fight. One of these guys is going to impose his will, and they're going to do it in dominant fashion.